You're listening to Short History Shorts audio, where history speaks louder than images. Amenemhat I's rise to power was no accident. As the founding pharaoh of Egypt's 12th dynasty, his reign marked the dawn of the Middle Kingdom, a period of centralized power, internal stability, and ambitious reform. Emerging from the ashes of the First Intermediate Period and the fading 11th dynasty, Amenemhat did not inherit an empire at peace. His reign had to be built on cautious consolidation, securing borders, suppressing rivals, and reshaping Egypt's political landscape. His legacy would be one of administrative overhauls, military expansion, and the creation of a dynasty that stood for nearly 2 centuries as the backbone of a revitalized Egyptian state. Amenemhat I did not begin life as royalty. He likely served as vizier under Mentuhotep IV, the last ruler of the 11th dynasty, and may have seized the throne through a palace coup or power vacuum. Whether by ambition or necessity, his ascension signaled a break from Theban-centric rule. One of his first and most symbolic acts was relocating the capital northward to a new city near Fayum called Ichtauvi, meaning Caesar of the Two Lands. This move not only distanced him from Theban power bases, but placed him closer to trade routes, the Delta, and potential threats from Asia and Libya. Amenemhat's greatest domestic legacy was reform. Recognizing the weaknesses that had fractured the Old Kingdom, he introduced a stronger bureaucracy. Power was redistributed from local nomarchs back to a centralized state. He revived the role of viziers, restructured provincial administration, and standardized laws and taxation. The Instructions of Amenemhat, a didactic text written in his voice and likely composed by court scribes after his death, advised his son to trust no one, to guard against conspirators, and to uphold order ruthlessly. It revealed a world of tension and caution behind the polished facade of royal authority. Military reforms were just as vital. Amenemhat understood that Egypt's geographic vulnerabilities had to be addressed. In the south, he fortified the First Cataract and strengthened Egypt's presence in Nubia, launching campaigns that both expanded territory and secured access to gold mines and trade routes. In the northeast, he commissioned the construction of Walls of the Ruler, a series of fortifications in the eastern delta to repel Asiatic incursions and monitor border crossings. These fortresses weren't simply military installations, they were psychological markers of control. Despite the strong hand, Amenemhat understood the importance of continuity and legitimacy. To that end, he co-ruled with his son, Senusret I, for nearly a decade before his death, a move that ensured a smooth transition of power and avoided civil unrest. Yet his own end was not without violence. Some texts suggest he was assassinated in a palace conspiracy, possibly during the absence of Senusret, who was away on campaign. Even in death, Amenemhat's paranoia seemed justified. But the dynasty he created endured. Senusret I, his son and successor, carried his father's vision forward, launching architectural projects, expanding Egypt's boundaries, and glorifying the power of Amun at Thebes. The 12th dynasty, shaped by Amenemhat's reforms and secured by his successors, came to be seen by later Egyptians as a golden age of wisdom, justice, and stability. The impact of Amenemhat I's reign was profound. He was not a pharaoh of monuments or myths, but of structure and strategy. His decisions defined the Middle Kingdom's character, centralized control, administrative excellence, and readiness for war when needed. Egypt, fractured and vulnerable in the previous centuries, now stood united, firmly gripped in the hands of a ruler who had learned from the chaos of the past. The rise of Amenemhat I was the rise of Egypt's second great age. Through political reform, military might, and dynastic foresight, he didn't just found a dynasty, he laid the foundation for an Egypt that remembered what it meant to be a kingdom, not just in name, but in strength.